Okay, so I chose scene 3, well, from Act 4. I chose scene 3, lines 1 through 32. And it's basically, to give an overview, it's basically the scene where Juliet is telling her mother, Lady Capulet, and the nurse to leave her room, and it ends with the soliloquy of her basically contemplating herself on whether or not she should go with the plan that Friar Lawrence gave her with the potion to drink for 2 days. To drink that will keep her asleep for 2 days, and her family will think that she's deceased. And the whole point of that is for her to wake up and go happily ever after with Romeo. But okay. So I'm just going to start with the first 5 lines. It starts with Juliet. And she says, "Hey, those attires are best, but gentle nurse, I pray thee leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many orisons." So, in this whole first stanza, or yeah, she uses religious words basically to it's either to leave them in a happy state, like to let them know, she's being religious, she's being active, talking to God, because religious parents, they like to hear that their children is praying on their own and doing all that. So she says, "I pray thee leave me," and she says she has many orisons, and orisons are prayers. And then she also says to move the heavens to smile, so she wants to make God happy. Well, she's telling them that she wants to make God happy, and she needs to get rid of her sins. So that is both to leave them happy, and it's also to comfort herself, because she knows what she's about to do. The other characters in the book, they don't know, but she knows and the audience knows, so that's also dramatic. That's dramatic irony right there. And so to continue on, she tries to false foreshadow to the nurse and her mother. And what I mean by false foreshadowing is when she says to move the heavens to smile upon my faith, to smile upon my state, that's foreshadowing to us. That's foreshadowing that she will be killing herself. Because when you think of heaven, you think of, afterlife. And that's where people go, if you believe in that. That's where people go when they die. So she's trying to hint to them, because they don't know that she's actually going to be alive after these 2 days. So she's hinting in a way to them that she will be dead. And, okay. And it can be also seen as dramatic irony as well, because we know she's not killing herself. And she doesn't actually mean she's going to see the heavens in a couple of days. Really tonight, that night. And she also admits that she's sinning in the next line when she says, "Which well thou knowest is cross and full of sin." She's saying she's full of sin. She's committed so many sins, and she's trying to tell him that she's trying to pray to God and tell him that he's sorry. And that's also her purpose of doing that, is also to comfort her family before she knows that they'll be in pain of her death. Okay, so moving on to the next section where Lady Capulet says, "What, are you busy? Need you my help?" So this line, "Need you my help," that shows how concerning and loving her family actually is, and also hints how devastated that they will be after they find out about her death. Because, she's the only child. Families with only children, they tend to be even more devastated. Not saying they don't care about their other children more if they have more children, but, she's the only child, and they're about to lose her. So, she says, "No, madam, we have called such necessaries as are behoveful for our state tomorrow. So please let me now be left alone." So to them, they think that she's talking about the marriage that's supposed to go on tomorrow to Paris, because she's saying we need to save our energy for tomorrow, and it's like a constant suggestion that they need to save their energy and leave her alone. But she's actually talking about how they're going to feel when they think that she's dead. So that's foreshadowing and also dramatic irony. Really, this whole conversation is dramatic irony and foreshadowing. So, and she says, and let the nurse this night sit up with you, which basically means let the nurse comfort you, which is also hinting that she will need comfort. And then, for I am sure you have your hands full all. So that's basically saying, that's a metaphor for, hands full is a metaphor for being busy. And in this so sudden business. So, in this so sudden business, that could be referring to the sudden idea of her getting married to Paris. Because, you know, it kind of happened fast. The dad just found a, you know, wealthy looking, good looking guy and was like, oh, you're marrying my daughter. And she's just supposed to be forced to marry him. But she also, when she says sudden, she could also be referring to the sudden idea of her old plan with running away with Romeo and acting like she's dead and whatnot. Because, you know, that just happened with Friar Lawrence and he just gave her that. So yeah, Lady Capulet and the nurse, they give in to her pleas and it's like, okay, fine, we'll leave you alone. And they leave. So when they leave, that's when Juliet starts her little soliloquy. And Shakespeare, he makes that a soliloquy and not a monologue, because if she would have said, like, God knows when we shall meet again, basically saying she's never going to see them again, if she would have said that in front of them, then they would have known. But the whole concept of dramatic irony made him write this as a soliloquy. Okay, so she says, yeah, God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear thrills through my veins that almost freezes up the heat of life. So she's basically saying she's so nervous about what she's about to do. And of course she would be nervous because relating back to how she's about to sacrifice her family and time just for her love of Romeo. Like, she's nervous because she loves her family and she loves Romeo, and she's basically wondering at this point if she's making the right decision. So, and she says that almost freezes up the heat of life. So the heat of life is like her problems. Heat represents her problems. It's a symbol for her problems. So basically her other problems, such as, you know, getting married to somebody she doesn't want. So basically this, right now she's not thinking about it or any of that. So she said, I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse, what should she do here? My dismissal scene, I needs must act alone. So right there, she's basically contradicting and arguing with herself because of her nervousness and of her doubt of actually going through with this plan. And she's hoping that it'll go right. And actually, I know she wants the best for her family because her doubt shows that she wants the best for her family, but she also wants to do what she wants to do. And so, come Vile, what if this mixture do not work at all? Basically, these next few lines, she's shifted on worrying about her family to worrying about the mixture. And her doubt, her doubt is showing her love for Romeo and showing that she loves Romeo so much that she's willing to sacrifice the pain of her family and not all her time. Well, yeah, basically all her time for the rest of her life. So, in the end, she says, no, this shall forbid it. Basically cutting herself off, telling herself, stop doubting, and lie down there. And that's the end of my 30 lines. And, yeah.